Hello everyone, welcome to NASCAR News Kid. The NASCAR Cup Series just wrapped up the Auto Trader 400 at EchoPark Speedway. Incredible is all I'm gonna say. Incredible. We are not going to waste any time. We are getting right to the winner, the finish, results, storylines, what happened, wrecks, controversy, everything. We are getting right into it right now. All I'm gonna say, wow, 2311 is starting 2026 on the right foot. Wow. 2 wins in a row. And it's not for different drivers for 2311. It's for the one driver that won last week. Tyler Reddick wins yet again. He is in victory lane 2 weeks in a row. Starts the season off with 2 victories in a row. Absolutely insane. And is the 6th driver all time to start the season off with 2 wins in a row. Absolutely insane. And to think about that, that's just absolutely crazy. It's his first win at EchoPark Speedway, and this wraps up, his super speedway tour, I guess I'll say. And he has a win at all 3 super speedway tracks. Talladega a couple years back, Daytona last week, and now EchoPark. I mean, is he a super speedway king? I don't know. I think we're going to have to start questioning that going forward. But just absolutely crazy. 10th career win in 220 starts in the NASCAR Cup Series. And by the way, led 53 laps this week. It's better than last week where he won the only lap he had to win the final lap. And goes from pole to victory. Also not a very common occasion for the NASCAR Cup Series, going from pole to victory, especially at super speedway. So crazy, crazy stuff. And going back to last year's results, finished 4th in the summer race last year, surviving all that chaos with the in-season tournament. And then last spring, finished 19th with a little bit of chaos, but still, coming in even then, he had one of the best average finishes of the entire garage with the new repave. So not surprising at all for Tyler Reddick to come in and pick up the win. I sound crazy saying that, but I'm not surprised. Tyler Reddick coming in, won the pole because of the metric, because qualifying was rained out, and then was just there all day besides getting caught up in a wreck. Yeah, got caught up in a wreck, got his fender torn off. Looked like a Whelen modified tour, if you know what I'm talking about. Whelen modified tour car with no fenders. Open wheel car. Yeah, just absolutely crazy. Tyler Reddick again. To see Tyler Reddick and 2311 go 2 in a row to start the season off is phenomenal. And for this team that's still building, still getting better, crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy to see 2311. And oh, by the way, Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick, the 2 good 2311 cars, are 1 and 2 right now in standings, though 40 points separates them or something like that. Still, 2311, absolutely insane way to start off the season. Congrats to 2311 team owners Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan, who is also at the track again this week, maybe hoping for another win, who knows. 45 crew and Tyler Reddick yet again. I mean, confidence from the Daytona 500 had to help him this week. How about let's talk about how he won this race. 2nd overtime attempt for the win, right? Bubba Wallace and Carson Hocevar have the front row. Oh no, Carson Hocevar, the Hurricane. Tyler Reddick 2nd on the inside. Then it's Ross Chastain outside behind Carson Hocevar. And then on the inside of the 3rd lane is Chase Briscoe. Outside of him, Daniel Suarez. So 3 Toyotas, 3 Chevys on the restart. But actually, only the 3 Toyotas get hooked up, and only 2 Chevys get hooked up on the restart. Suarez he doesn't have help. He doesn't have the enough amount of help to get to the other two Chevys, and ultimately the Toyotas push forward, and Wallace clears Carson Hocevar. He pulls up in front of Hocevar. Hocevar says, "No way, buddy. I'm not taking that block from you. I'm going middle. I'm making a middle lane. I'm shuffling you, Bubba." And Bubba gets shuffled out. Hocevar, all of a sudden, he's side by side, wheel to wheel, with Tyler Reddick for the win. And everyone falls back besides Chase Briscoe in the 19. Briscoe down the front stretch. He gives a shove to the Toyota teammate, Tyler Reddick, instead of the 77. Obviously, manufacturers, they work together. But ultimately, again, a Toyota teammate decides the win 2 weeks in a row. Oh my gosh, I mean, these things just keep happening. Toyota's teammates work together yet again to get another victory with the same driver. Crazy, crazy stuff. Briscoe decided the win. No one got even close to Tyler Reddick from the front stretch to the front stretch again the next following lap to the checkered flag. Tyler Reddick picks up the win, and it's, like I said, absolutely crazy that, go back 1 week earlier, Riley Herbst was the Toyota teammate giving Tyler Reddick the push to win. This week, it's Chase Briscoe, another Toyota teammate, giving the push to Tyler Reddick to help him win. Absolutely crazy how that just happens. I don't know. It's just crazy. And from there, like I said, Reddick runs away. No one is able to get there. So just absolutely crazy. We talked about 2311, but Bubba Wallace, he comes home in 8th. Led a total of 99 laps, 2311 combined between the 45 and the 23. Herbst did not lead any laps. What a shocker. But Wallace led the most laps in Daytona and comes here again, leads, I believe, second most laps to, obviously, his teammate, Tyler Reddick, who led the 53 laps. That makes up to 99 total laps led by 2311. So just crazy, crazy stuff. To see those two cars, the two main cars, Herbst, the two main cars get a total of 99 laps led. Absolutely crazy. Let's get to results here. Tyler Reddick, like I said, we talked about him. Second for Briscoe, solid. Started 34th because of the metric. Led 27 laps. Ultimately, at the end of the day, solid result for him. Third for Ross Chastain, solid. He was tight all night, so that definitely held him back. Carson Hocevar comes home 4th. Aggressive. I'm guessing he's happy to finish. He seemed happy in his interview in the end. I'm guessing he's happy to finish because, the races where he's had a shot to win, usually something bad happens and he crashes or something goes wrong, blows a tire, so I'm pretty sure he's happy to finish this race. But he did wreck Christopher Bell. We'll talk about that in a few moments. 5th for Suarez, came close at the end, but just did not have enough. 6th for Shane Van Gisbergen. This is impressive. He spun out twice and still comes home to get his best oval finish in the NASCAR Cup Series, his career. So, crazy stuff there. 7th for Zane Smith, another great finish after finishing 6th last week. He comes home 7th this week. Yeah, I know. 8th for Bubba Wallace, led 46 of the 99, 2311 laps led. Obviously, we talked about that. 9th for Ryan Preece, solid. Stuck around in Stage 3, got the 9th place finish. 10th for Ryan Blaney, led 6 laps. Not the greatest super speedway race he's had recently, so not good for him for his standards. As well as Chase Elliott, 11th, led only 11 laps in front of his hometown crowd. Not as great as he usually is at EchoPark. Won there last summer. 12th for Allmendinger. Quiet, good result for him. 13th for Hamlin. Got wrecked by Logano in the final stage, so rebounded from that. Fights back for 13th. 14th for Gregson. Just solid, quiet. Avoided the wrecks. Survived. And same with 15th for Buescher. Solid. Survived. That's really all you gotta do to get top 25, top 20, even top 15. Just survive and have a good finish, I guess. Let's talk about some other crashes here. Lap 82, there was a crash with Josh Berry and Ty Gibbs, which caused both of them to DNF, so not good for them. Lap 103, there was a pileup including BJ McLeod, Ricky Stenhouse, Riley Herbst, Todd Gilliland, Austin Dillon, many others. Lap 126, Kyle Busch spun after getting a misaligned shove from, I believe, Noah Gragson, so then he went to the inside wall and tons of damage and ended his day. That definitely stings for him after watching him win the truck race on Saturday. Lap 161, Kyle Larson, he came down the track and literally just cut off Shane Van Gisbergen. I guess he thought, I don't know, wasn't listening to his spotter, so his fault. He literally admitted it, so thank you for admitting it, Kyle, but you still crashed. Lap 224, Joey Logano came up in front of Denny Hamlin. He spun Hamlin and others, including Tyler Reddick. That's where he got that fender thing, looking like a wheel-in modified tour car, whatever. And then the first overtime, Christopher Bell and Bubba Wallace on the restart. Carson Hocevar, same thing with Bubba Wallace down the backstretch, going for the win. Makes a third lane, tries to shuffle Bell. Bell comes down thinking that Hocevar is not there and comes down and then overcorrects and goes into the wall. Gets tons of damage. I believe he did finish, though, so it wasn't a DNF. And then there were other minor spins. Like I said, Shane Van Gisbergen, his second crash was him spinning by himself, and then Logano spun by himself as well. So, yeah, just other minor incidents. And then some other facts to wrap up. Tyler Reddick, like I said, leads the point standings by over 40 points over teammate Bubba Wallace, who is in second. And more on standings. I'll have more on standings in these videos coming up as soon as we get 4 or 5 races in, so then the points settle, and it's not like, oh, this guy's way up here this week, and then way down here the next week. So hopefully the points will settle going forward, and then we'll start getting them here on the video. Xfinity fastest lap goes to Todd Gilliland. Some other fast facts for you. Lead changes, there were 57 among 14 different drivers. There were 10 cautions for 67 laps. Yep. And then a great race here in EchoPark. Incredible racing as always. Next race is COTA next week, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Road racing, you know what that means. Shane Van Gisbergen with a solid result this week, momentum carrying over to next week, right? Him, Zilich, maybe even Reddick for the three-peat. You never know. I mean, it happened last year with Christopher Bell starting with EchoPark and then going to COTA and winning, and then Phoenix. Yeah, maybe Reddick will start out with a three-peat, kind of how Bell did last year, except he started with race 2. But still, you never know. Shane Van Gisbergen, Zilich, Reddick, Bell from last year. I mean, Byron. You really never know with the road course races. Especially COTA, and now Zilich in the Cup Series. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, why not smash that like button down below. Hit that notification bell, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, you like NASCAR, you are in the right place. And I'll see you next week after COTA. Bye, everyone.